G'day guys, how you doing? And I'm super excited about tonight's Nightscape adventure. Now, if you enjoy your music, like I do, and have heard of the band Midnight Oil, well then you might have a bit of an idea on where I might be. Here in South Australia there's a little house that kind of was made famous on the cover of Midnight Oil here in Burra. And I figured, well, perfect place to be on a perfect night shooting astro. And as you can see just over here, it's actually private property, and there are a lot of people that sort of jump the fence and try and capture shots of the Midnight Oil house. However, I just want to make sure that everyone knows to respect people's property. If it's private property and you haven't asked for permission or anything like that, don't go jumping the fence, don't go ruining their land, especially farmers growing crops and doing all that sort of stuff. So I just want to shoot out that message to everyone and just say, just respect people's properties when it comes to photography and astrophotography, because the last thing we want is for these beautiful areas to be completely banned. And that would kind of suck a little bit. Anyway, on that note, let's set up the equipment and get shooting, shall we? So I'm using the 24mm f1.8 lens with the Z7, and I fired off one shot after getting my my focus using my live view screen, and dialed in some quick settings of 20-second exposure, 1.8, ISO 6400, and if you don't already know, I do like to use about an ISO 10,000. However, there are some fairly bright lights to the right of me, so if I push it any further, I'm going to blow out those highlights really quickly. Plus I am shooting at 1.8, so I'm letting a lot of light as it is. But anyway, I fired off the first shot and I think it's turning out really good. I've got the Midnight Oil house to the left of me, and then to the right I've got a few little trees, and that's where the Milky Way, or the core of the Milky Way, is sort of facing. Ultimately it would be nice to have the Milky Way rising right behind the house, but to do that I would have to walk either a lot further down or do something that you're just not allowed to do, and that's walk on private property, and I'm not going to do that. I think this shot looks absolutely beautiful as it is. So for me, when I shoot Nightscape images, I like to stack all those images as well. So I'll be firing off probably about 10 frames with the 24mm and the Z7, stack them all together and see how we go. So let's start shooting. Okay, so I've just finished shooting about 20 images, and the reason for that is it's been quite challenging getting the images I wanted, because just to the right of me is a main highway, so we've got a lot of trucks going up and down, high beams on, all that sort of stuff. So in between the trucks going back and forth, I've got to stop, take another shot, stop, take another shot. So took a little bit longer than expected, but it's all done. And now I've just switched over to shoot a bit of a time-lapse. Now I know the time-lapse may not be ideal because, again, trucks coming back and forth all the time, but I figured why not? It's a beautiful night, It's very still. I'm out the front of the Midnight Oil House. Just got to do it. So yeah, to talk you through this time lapse, I'm only going to be using 15-second exposures, but with an ISO of 10,000. So I've sort of sacrificed exposure time for ISO there compared to my normal still shots. But I'm also using a syrup setup with two Genie Mini 2s, and I control these through my iPad, setting keyframes so that way it can pan and tilt as we go along. But I am shooting this this time lapse in camera, so usually you might have a cable, which I've got, that goes from the Genie to the camera to trigger it between each shot, and then you'll use third-party software to bring that time lapse together. But for me, I've been wanting to try and do it in camera and get rid of a lot of that processing, because it does take a lot of time, plus a lot of hard drive space, which at the moment I don't have much of. So yeah, I'm going to set up, shoot a bit of a time lapse, and after that, pack up, call it a night. So let's see how we go. Alright, so I'm going to call it a night now. We're all done. Fingers crossed this time lapse looks as good as the scene in front of me. Trucks have been going back and forth. It's been a bit of a pain that way, but we can't have everything we want, can we? So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little Nightscape adventure, and if you got any comments, please don't forget to let me know. Give it a big thumbs up if you like it, and if you're new to this this video, my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Alright, well, as another truck just about comes past, I'm going to call it a night. So until next time, guys, take it easy. See ya.